In this lecture, we'll take a look at how we can create a form which can be used to post data and create courses. So here I'll be guiding you how we can do that using the Visual Studio. The first thing that we need to do is just go to our home directory inside views and right click, say add, and then say view. You'll get this dialog box coming up. You can give it a name. The name of the view, as I want it to be, is, let's say, course, and the template will be create. Here the model class that I'm assigning is course, so skillbakery.models. Obviously I need to use a layout page, so I'll select this use a layout page, and then over here I'll be selecting views, and inside views in the shared directory we have this layout.cshtml. Just select and click OK. Here you need to click on add now. Now this is the page that has been created by Visual Studio. Here let's notice a couple of things. The first thing that it does is includes this @model skillbakery model.course. So this page basically utilizes this course model. Next thing that you'll notice is the layout over here. The title of the page is basically set using view data title equal to course. So the tab that gets opened, there you'll see the title as course. And this is the form that has been created. Now this form contains a couple of div tags. As you can see, it has got this title, then input, form control, published on, input for published on class as form control, and then the create button. Let's run this and see it in action. For that we'll have to go to our home controller, and here we'll have to create an action. So let's copy this, put it over here. I'll say it as course, and all it's going to do is return new course. So this is the course that we are returning to this view. Now let's run and see it in action. Now here we'll go to home/course. Now you'll notice that the styling is not coming up properly. The reason why it is not coming up or rendering properly is the layout.cshtml file. Some of the CSS are not having their path correct, because this file is residing inside home directory, and when you are accessing it using the folder path home/course, the files are not residing inside the home directory. Files are actually in www.root folder. So we need to work on that CSS thing, but that is not the point over here. So let's comment this for now, reload this, and here you can see course is the heading over here, and then we have these two. But the form that has been generated using Visual Studio is not very informative and intuitive. So what needs to be done over here is we need to take another approach. Now here what I'm going to do is, instead of this form that has been created by Visual Studio Code, I'll be commenting this, and I'll be using another approach to generate this form, and that is by making use of @using HTML begin form. So here we have this block which says html.begin form, and inside this block we can use HTML helpers to create the form. So for instance, if I have to take this div over here and put it here, I can just go ahead and say, instead of all these two input tags and span, all I need to do is make use of html.label for. So if I say label for, it will ask me which attribute you want this label for. So I'll say title. Next I can go ahead and say HTML.editor for. Now editor for is usually used to create text boxes. So here I'll say editor for, and then again I'll have to provide the attribute. So obviously it's title, and there you go, we have title as well. Now once that's done, we can also include the submit button. Now for submit button, we don't have any HTML helper, it's just the standard submit button that we can use. So here we have a form, and then we are making use of the label for to generate the label for that, and editor for to get the editor. Now let's run this first and see it in action. Now here we have the label and text name. Now you will notice that here we are just saying label for x.title. So from where it is giving the course name that you're seeing over here, we have not written it here. And to do that, all you need to do is go to the courses model, and you'll notice we are making use of data annotations. So component model.data annotations is the namespace, and here you'll find that display name as course name, prompt enter course name, description course name. So these are the things that we have assigned to this attribute title, and that is the reason why when we are saying label for x.title, it is getting that title label from the courses model title attribute course name. So you can see that when you're creating a model, you're strongly binding it and creating the form, it becomes pretty easy to manage all these things. So you just come here, change the label at one place, and no matter where you are making use of this particular form, all those places will have a consistent update, and the label will be shown what you have written over here. So now that we have our form created, in the next lecture we'll see how we can post this data back to our controller. But before that, let's see the page source. So here I'll be inspecting it, and there you go. If you see the form action, it says home/course. Home/course is actually the current URL. So if you're not specifying any action attribute, it by default takes the current URL as the action. And method, as you can see, is by default set to post. Here we have the label and input. So you can see all these helper methods that we are using are basically generating HTML content only. So label for is generating a label, editor for is generating an input type text. There are other helper methods available as well, which you can access by just typing HTML dot, and here for instance you can write a text area. So here we have text area, text box, all these are coming up, all these are available. You can see radio button is there, password is there. So you can explore the whole list using this IntelliSense.